What's up, guys? You're watching Poot's Garage. We are one seal away from really driving this thing and getting to know this truck. Finally. So if you've been following along, you'll notice on the last test drive we took, I had a major oil leak again. So we got the little seal for this. It's just the front pinion seal. I'm not gonna bore you guys with a crazy install video. We'll just get through a quick edit and we'll get this thing installed. And once we get that in, then we can finally move this front suspension, actually figure out what we're gonna do with front shocks. If I can do anything with the height of them, I don't know, or if I just gotta put them wherever they fit. So that's the goal. So I gotta try and find a spot to flex this thing out a little bit. Hold on tight. And before we get too deep into this video, we gotta go to the map. It's been a minute since we've been there, and I got a lot of pins to add, so let's go. And we're at the map. I really messed up this time. I'm waiting way too long between doing these things. So we got 39 locations to get through. So real quick, if you're new here, all you gotta do is comment where you're watching from, and I'll put a red pin on the map. Let's get to it. First up is Lowell, Indiana. Then Prescott, Arizona, the entire state of Alaska, Beaumont, California, Franklin, North Carolina, Dahlonega, Georgia, Ventura, California, Prairie Village, Kansas, Plymouth, Michigan, Twin Falls, Idaho, Gainesville, Georgia, Camden, North Carolina, Winchester, Kentucky, Buffalo, Wyoming, Manteca, California, Cassett, South Carolina, Coquitlam, British Columbia, Prescott, Arizona again, San Diego, California, White River, Arizona, Freedom, Wisconsin, Canton, Mississippi, Glendale, Arizona, Grandview, Missouri, Boise, Idaho, Riverton, Wyoming, Chino Valley, Arizona, Possum Grape, Arkansas, Santa Margarita, California, Downey, California, Canton, Mississippi again, Zuni, New Mexico, Pinedale, Wyoming, all the way from France, near Geneva, Switzerland, they said. So we'll stick you up there by Geneva. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Ontario, California, West Liberty, Kentucky, Fort Riley, Kansas, and last is all the way from Gatton, Queensland, Australia. And that's all the pins for this week, so keep calling out them cities, them states, them countries, whatever you want to represent. So this is the seal that's leaking really bad. After I test drove it, I mean, it was just draining. I had a steady stream draining off of this front diff. So we're gonna take care of that real quick. This is a Spicer unit. Hopefully it's the right seal. We got old number 42449. Hopefully this is the right seal that fits in there. To me, these are super easy to do. You just gotta pull the drive shaft off, remove the big center nut, pull the yoke out, and then pop that seal out, put the new one in, put the yoke back in. The torque, you kind of need to know what you're doing with the torque on preload and different things like that. I do want to double check if this has a crush sleeve or if these are shimmed. I'm not sure yet. Kind of determines on what you do with when you torque that nut. So I just want to double check that before we get too far into this. But yeah, this is an easy thing. It's no big deal. Other than that, I can see like my engine oil drain plug is leaking. I've tried tightening that up a couple times. Hopefully it's a drain plug. I have a weird gasket on there. I need to replace the gasket or just get a whole new drain plug with a matching gasket. But that's no big deal. I'm not worried about that. Sure, it leaves a little puddle in here, but we can fix that whenever we want. Well, we take this front drive shaft off, this nice, beautiful Tom Woods unit we put in many videos ago. Just want to say the channel is doing great. We're making good progress and we're slowly growing. Not as quick as I had hoped about a year ago, but we're making progress, so we're gonna keep pushing. But I appreciate everybody's nice comments and all the likes and subscriptions. So if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do, because you don't want to miss this when we start getting it out. it's the next day. So I tried all my sockets. I didn't have the right socket for this pinion nut here, so I had to run out and buy one today. So we got a 1 5/16 socket. Now my first question is, it just doesn't quite fit. So we're gonna have to grind it down just a hair because it's a little too thick. So let's get that done real quick. Much better. And the seal's out. That came out pretty easy, I would say. Alright, it's a week later. These videos are just creeping out. Life is busy these days. But anywho, I went ahead last night and finished up the front pinion seal on this. I just wanted to get it done. Not feeling too good this weekend, so I wasn't still not really in the mood to video, but whatever. So there's the pinion all put back together. It should be good. Hopefully everything's good to go. Still got our little engine oil leak there from the drain plug, but that's no big deal. We'll deal with that later. But right now, I want to take this thing out, and I kind of did a little scouting with the Jeep and found a good little spot. Right around the corner from me, there's a dirt lot that's got a couple big piles of rock and dirt and different things. So I'm going to take this over there. I'm going to try and like kind of get the suspension moving a little, kind of see what's still rubbing, what needs to be trimmed. My main thing is, I don't know if I have any adjustability, but I want to see about taking some measurements for the front shocks and stuff like that, just to see where they're going to get mounted. So if you've been following this build, I have no front shocks on this yet because I have the extended, I think they're like Super Duty Ford shock mounts, and I haven't put those on yet because I didn't really know exactly where to put them. But I don't know if I really have much of a choice of where to put them. It's kind of gonna be where they fit. But anyways, I'm gonna take some measurements just to verify. And also, when I had these springs made, I had this axle moved 1 inch forward. So the axle's kind of shifted forward just a hair, which is great. And I also want to see if how much I need to trim. I'm gonna see how much fender interference we have on these big old tires. This is only a 5-inch lift with a very flexy suspension, so kind of got to see. I've trimmed the front fender a little bit, but I have not trimmed anything on the rear, so this axle is going to move rearward as it flexes, so we're going to test that out real quick. And you can see that did almost nothing. This dirt is very soft right here, so it just crushed in. But yeah, we still got some clearance. Probably can't turn very well, but we're gonna keep going here. Alright, that looks pretty cool from this angle, but we were rubbing bad on the other side. And that's where we need to trim. We gotta cut a lot. So these pictures are for my own reference. But yeah, you can see how much we're gonna have to cut back. Rear's looking good though. getting up there. Getting a little bit better. Frame's starting to move a little. That's good. You can see we are rubbing on the front there. As long as I keep it straight, it's still drivable. Rear end is starting to max out here. Practice those shocks. Rear end is stuffing nice. It's nice and centered in the wheel well. I'm sure it'll go up higher. I haven't looked at the bump stop yet, but I might not have to trim that at all. I don't even really have bump stops that match up to anything back here anyways. Kind of gives me an idea of where I need to go though. Front end is looking good. Bump stops aren't even close yet, so I'll be definitely getting some taller bump stops. But we still got some room for up travel too, so it's not the end of the world. Springs are pretty flat, got a little bit of arch to them still. This side's hanging. My steering that I had issues with before is not binding at all, not even close. So that's cool. See, we're still actually level. We still got room to move. I was actually worried about it hitting the engine cross member, but I don't think it's gonna go up that far, so we might be good there. But overall, we're doing all right. As for the shock placement, I think we're just gonna put them wherever we can. But we do need to work on bump stops, that's for sure. And fender trimming, obviously. All right, we did it. We're back. We survived. The truck didn't break. Nothing unexpected. I just got a good baseline now of what to start cutting, and just gonna throw the shocks in wherever. I kind of measured the shocks I have, and I mean they're gonna work regardless. So we're just gonna roll with it. Finally got some dirt on the tires. I can tell. So I dropped the tire pressure down to 25 before I left. Might be able to go just a hair more in the front. Might leave the front where it's at for street driving at least. But the rear, if you can tell by where the dirt's not wearing off, I can drop that probably another 5 PSI. So I'll be running about 20 in the rear and 25 in the front. Big tire things. So these are the extended shock mounts that we got to put in the front still, and these are the new shocks that we need to put in there. So you can see these are actually going to get cut off right about there. You don't use this lower half. So it's going to extend it probably, I don't know, 6 inches or so, a little bit longer there. And then these are the shocks here, which I think are 30, almost 32 inches fully extended. So that seems to work out just about right with what I was measuring out there. So it should be pretty good. But all in all, that was pretty fun. The truck had a lot of pops and creaks and stuff as it was kind of working itself out. Them leaf springs haven't moved yet, so all the paint not to break free on them and everything like that. But yeah, it seems like it's working good. That rear locker, I could feel it locking up when I'm trying to turn on the street like it should. Had one big bang out of it, so that's good. It's doing its thing. One thing I noticed is the transfer case was actually in 4 high the entire time. I thought it was in 2 high. It was kind of jammed up, but after driving it, I was able to put it in 2-wheel drive. So the hubs are still locked. I'm just in 2-wheel drive right now, so works pretty good. We got to get them shocks on. We got to trim some fenders. I actually still have to put a front locker in this thing eventually if we want to get real crazy with it. But all in all, I am happy. That's a good test drive. It's a good little test run until I can really start getting it out. I'd love to start putting those shocks in this weekend. Maybe I'll start tonight. We'll see. But I got a lot of other stuff going on this weekend. Some friendly functions going on. So I'll be gone for the rest of this weekend. Hopefully next weekend we can continue on. But yep, we're still making progress. So until next time, keep watching Poot's Garage. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the good things that we like. And then I'll keep doing things that you like. Talk to you guys later.